And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media, always providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, state and tax planning of over 80 show categories of expert contributor advice right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, 6 years on air running now, and all about helping you understand more your buying decisions, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. But it's up to you to engage. We would love to entertain, educate, but most importantly, engage with you. So save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need to give us a call or a text, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number. Call or text that line anytime. Also, bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. Big announcement. We're moving over to AM 860 The Answer in just about a week or so. AM 860 The Answer, 4 o'clock drive time, the Consumer Quarterback Show, joining an all-star lineup of nationally syndicated show hosts. And it was an honor to be asked to join such a great network and station here with Salem Communications here. So moving over to AM 860 The Answer on the 26th, and that's a big announcement for us. We're real excited about that. This segment is brought to you by the Lucky Dill Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, the Lucky Dill. I love going over to Lucky Dill. They got the deli, New York City bar, Brooklyn bakery. They do catering and banquets as well. And it's home of the sandwich that ate Brooklyn. Excellent food, 4606 West Boy Scout Boulevard, online at luckydilldeli.com. Awesome ambiance in there, football games, all types of sports on the TVs, and a very friendly wait staff over at the Lucky Dill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of export contributors here in studio. We also have Clyde Smith on the phone. We're going to jump to Clyde here in just a moment, Bilmar Beach Resort. And we have Fred Muth in studio, Tampa Screens Aluminum. Welcome in, sir.
Well, thank you so much. I'm glad to be back. You know, when I missed the show after a couple of weeks, I feel guilty.
Yeah,
it's terrible. I'm sort of addicted to this thing at this point.
Yeah. And I know you tune in almost every day
like
too
it,
when you're driving.
I have to. I have to. I look forward to the traffic jam at this point.
Yeah, there you go.
There's them brake lights. Great. Turn the radio on.
That's right. You can pull it up on the iHeartRadio app too. I do that a lot. It comes in really crisp and clear on the app as well. Mm-hmm. We got Justin Setzer as well in studio. Plan to lead. Welcome in, Justin.
Hey, Brandon, good to be back. Ready to share some and learn from everybody else as well.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Good stuff. And we're excited about, a lot of things, positive momentum happening around the real estate market as well. Our team at Platinum MVP Team Realty, my wife and I own and operate that team, and we're growing. We're up to 15 team members now. Really excited about the growth. The market is great too. It's a great time to be in the market. Great time, especially for move up buyers. If you sell in that $200,000 to $300,000 price range and you want to buy a $400,000 or $500,000 house, what a great time to do it because you got low interest rates coupled with a seller's market in your price point and potentially a buyer's market depending on if you're $500,000-$600,000. So it's interesting how you can play with those numbers, and you look at that and you're able to buy a nice move up home in this area right now. So check out consumerqb.com, platinummvpteam.com. Hot listing on the beach, 861 Mandalay Avenue. This property is $700,000 right on the beach, the north side of Clearwater Beach. Beautiful listing, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It also has a 3rd bedroom, but we can't technically count it because of the county or some municipality telling us we can't. No closet, okay. So 200 steps from the soft sands of beautiful Clearwater Beach. Got the dolphin-filled waters right there, literally 200 steps, and you are on the beach. This is your beach house you've been waiting for. 861 Mandalay Avenue, Clearwater Beach. Beautiful property. Also, 1645 Parker Boulevard in Odessa. This is a gorgeous home. Owner pride definitely shows through in this gated community in Odessa with lake access. Gorgeous photography, compliments of Fabre Frameworks, 4-bedroom, 3-bath home, open floor plan, large 3-car garage, and the community also offers boaters access to the lake with a boat ramp, tennis courts, and a lot to offer here at 1645 Parker Point Boulevard in Odessa. If you want your property listed and pitched on the Real Estate Quarterback Show on AM 860 The Answer, 1025 The Bone, Apple TV, Amazon Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and 85 other outlets. Reach out. We'd love to talk to you. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, we're going to the phones now. We got Clyde Smith. He's the general manager, Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and Sloppy Joe's restaurant on site as well. Clyde, glad to have you back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, sir.
Brandon, it's good to be back on with you. It sounds like you have another great set of guests there to speak with, and I learn a little something every time also that I did it. We just literally redid all of our screens and our bird cage over our pool from what I learned on your show. So awesome. we are compliant now. So very happy.
Very
cool.
cool.
You never called me.
That's Fred. That's Fred.
The neighbor put some pressure on me.
That's okay. I got to come down to your bar down there and expect a free beer. How's that?
There you go. I will be happy to make that up to you. Come on. This weekend's a great time to come over. We've got a Notre Dame watch party, so they're going to be playing Georgia and starting off at 6:30. That's going to be real fun out on the back deck of Sloppy Joe's. It's one of the 3 decks that we have there, but we have some real neat new tables and things coming in. They're going to be fun. It's lifting everything up to bar seat height so that you have an unobstructed view of our beautiful beach on Treasure Island.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. One of the largest beaches in the entire Gulf Coast. Is that right, Clyde?
It sure is. It's got some depth to it, but the beautiful part of that is when you're down there, you don't hear anyone yelling Marco Polo or, hollering up to the balconies. You're down there, and it's just so peaceful at the cabanas. And, of course, all of our guests get 2 beach chairs they carry down there. And it's a deep beach, but it's a great beach. And, of course, one of the few that you can have an open beverage on.
Yeah, absolutely. Bilmar Beach Resort. Book direct, too. That's another big misconception out there, Clyde. I think some people say, I'm going to go on one of these sites and try to get the discounted price. The best price is actually to book directly with you, correct?
It absolutely is. And you can call us directly. Our staff loves to talk and make sure they're going to find what's just right for you. Or we have an excellent website at the BilmarBeachResort.com. And you just go right on there. It has pictures of everything, beautiful pictures of the resort. We work very hard to make sure our website is who we are. We don't have any doctored pictures, anything like that. It's who we are. And if you look at our TripAdvisors, I think you'll see that the guests are very happy with what they get at the Bilmar. We have a wonderful staff.
And it's got a really cool, boardwalk, sidewalk, and just lots of things to do right in that general area. There's a lot of attractions in the area, too.
Well, there are. I mean, we have the 2 restaurants, the cafe, and, of course, Sloppy Joe's on the beach, our more famous restaurant. But there's another dozen restaurants within distance. We have our full-service Publix. It's really, you don't need a car once you're here. You just park it or Uber over. It's a great way to come and have a good time. We just rolled out, I think right on our last call, the Hillsborough and Pinellas resident rate. So that gives you up to 20% off our already discounted midweek rates. So it's a great way to come to the beach for a staycation, play hooky from work for a day, or, it's a discount over the weekend too, but the rates Sunday through Thursday are just ridiculously affordable at this time because we want people to come and see us and go home and talk about it just like you do, Brandon. We like folks to brag on us.
That's right, yeah, and they've got beautiful suites as well. I've had the opportunity to stay in one of the suites before. You got, and it's one of the rare occasions that you go to a beach hotel and you literally open up the sliding glass door and there's a sidewalk there, and then your next step is on the beautiful sugar sand. That you can't find that very often.
No, those are our walkout rooms. They really are special. That was done about 15 years ago. We added those on the whole first floor to where you step right out. Of course, we have the Adirondack chairs and the fire pits, so you can get little groups of folks at night just enjoying each other out there. And the walkway is lit. You mentioned the mile-long beach trail that we have. That's lit at night with turtle-friendly lighting. So, it's just a great place to gather. It's one of the most popular areas, of course, being at the beach.
Yeah, we're talking with Clyde Smith. He's the general manager of the Bilmar Beach Resort here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Bilmar Beach Resort is the website, BilmarBeachResort.com. Sloppy Joe's restaurant on site. Excellent food. Lots of fun entertainment, too. There's live music pretty often over there, too, Clyde.
We do have live music throughout the weekend, and then a couple of days during the week. Our midweek guests love our Dixieland Jazz band that's been playing here since 1967, a variety of them. But it's right off the streets of New Orleans, real fun. But then we also added some other fun things that plays with me, more DJ music. We have trivia night on Thursdays. We added the Bandingo, which is like a new craze. It's bingo with lots of music, and they dance around the room. That's every Friday night in the cafe. And we're having Saturday night parties now. DJ Eric is rocking the room on Saturday night. Just a great place to be for sunset and beyond. Great food, too. I mentioned last time we had Chef Terry came over from Gulfport and running some great dinner specials over in the cafe. And we're tweaking the menu at Sloppy Joe's a little bit, too, keeping that Caribbean flair going.
Very nice. Yeah, I love it. I love going down to visit, bringing the family, hanging out at the pool. There's 2 pools right there on site, and just a great opportunity to get away, local staycation, family vacation over at the Bilmar Beach Resort. And standing ovations is something to see, too. What time of year is that?
That is, I'm actually skipping a board meeting right now to be on the phone with you. It's coming up in just several weeks. It's going to be in November. Over the week before Thanksgiving. So really the festivities start on that Wednesday the 20th when the 10 international sand sculptors do the pound up. And then we have music starting Thursday, and then great bands Friday, Saturday, and fireworks on Saturday.
Standing
so
ovations.
If you haven't seen fireworks on Treasure Island Beach, you haven't seen fireworks, because they are right there.
Yeah, and that is something to see. I mean, these are gorgeous, just creative people that are putting together these sand sculptures. How do you explain it, Clyde? I mean,
each sculptor gets 20,000 pounds of sand, and it's a special sand. We actually core it out of South Florida. That they don't use any glue or anything when they're building it. They have arches and circles, and it's just incredible pieces of art. You can go on the Standing Ovations Facebook page and website and see there's some live speed art showing you how they create them, and it's just amazing. Last year we had over 50,000 people throughout the weekend, and it's great. Again, Treasure Island Beach is big enough that you can do that and not bump into anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Reach out directly to Clyde Smith, BilmarBeachResort.com. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Clyde, we appreciate you calling in. Look forward to catching up with you soon, man.
Thanks for having me. We'll see you this weekend. Take care.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Clyde Smith and Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, we got our expert contributors in studio here. Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, Justin Setzer, plan to lead. And our feel-good story of the day, Detroit police officers' act of kindness caught on camera. Very cool story coming from you right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back. Do not touch that dial.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty here in Tampa Bay, helping our buyers, sellers, and investors with their real estate transactions, helping as a certified negotiation expert. And my wife, Lindsay, also is a feng shui and an interior design expert as well here. And we got a great team. We'd love to help you with your real estate. Got some hot listings here in the area, too. We'll let you know about here, some beautiful properties here. 12610 Port Marnock Drive in Odessa. This property's back on the market. We took it off the market, did some upgrades to the kitchen and baths. Gorgeous home right in Odessa, and it is in a gated community of Turnberry at the Eagles. The home sits on one of the best lots, no front or rear neighbors, and it's a gorgeous property in a gated community with golf carts. You know, golf carts access throughout the community, golf course community. Beautiful property at 12610 Port Marnock Drive in Odessa. Check out all of our real estate properties at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com. Also, 5822 Schooner Way is a Tampa property. 5822 Schooner Way. This property is also waterfront. It's got a beautiful pool. It's in the Bayport area, Longboat area of Tampa Bay. And if you're a boater, you have lake access, and it has bay access as well on a freshwater canal with a boat dock that leads out to the bay. So you're taking your boat out to dinner at the Bahama Breeze there. You got the Rusty Pelican, all those different cool restaurants right there. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com for all of our real estate listings.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And this segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brothers Easy Moving, I can tell you from firsthand experience that they are a first-class organization. They did a great job moving my family to our new home, and they are online and one of the best reviewed movers in all of Tampa Bay. 4.6 rating on Google, 4.5 on Yelp, A rating from the Better Business Bureau and Angie's List. Check out Brothers Easy Moving. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, in studio today, we got Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, and Justin Setzer, Plan to Lead. Let's start it off here with Justin. So, Justin, tell us what Plan to Lead is and what do you do?
Yeah, it's a company that helps primarily with hiring. So hiring and selection, which is a huge area. We have a patent process we actually use for companies to hire managers, directors, or even in their C-suite. We help with trainings, and of course we do one-on-one coaching for middle management and executives.
Very cool.
Doing that.
So what are some of the trends you're seeing right now? Anything particularly jump out?
Yeah, I think one of the walls that a lot of companies are hitting right now with the generation of millennials making up a majority of the workforce now is that they jump. And what companies don't recognize is that millennials are looking to really work for a purpose, a deeper purpose. Mm-hmm. So that's why they're jumping. When companies hire these, they don't recognize they're looking for something deeper. And there's another reason why companies having a very strong sense of purpose. 80% of all the top talent, thriving employees in the workforce right now say that they work for a company that have a strong sense of purpose.
Wow.
So 4 of the 5 best top talent pool right now in the United States are working for companies that have a strong sense of purpose. The questions are coming to the arch, why, is my job meaningful? It's interesting. The CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, said in his letter to the investors, and he said that purpose and profits are linked together. In his last letter he sent out, and he said they're linked together. We can't ignore it, that they're absolutely linked together.
Wow, it's interesting.
Forward. Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of comes down to of course I quote a lot of times I talk about Tony Robbins, and he talks about the 7 human needs. Purpose is one of those: certainty, uncertainty, love, significance, contribution back to the community, and spirituality and purpose. I think that's interesting. Is that something like Tom's Shoe Company? You buy one pair of our shoes, we donate a pair of shoes. Is that what you're going for there? Is that what you mean? when you say purpose?
Yeah, so it's companies that have themselves, regardless of what they're doing or the product they're serving, the reasons why they're doing it. So there's a large company you may not know by its name, Unilever. So you may not know the company, but you know its products. It owns Axe, Dove, Lipton, Breyers, Hellmann's, and their purpose, formal purpose, is to make sustainable living commonplace.
Okay.
So more and more of their products are meant to be sustainable.
Okay.
And those products now outperform all the other products, and they account for 70% of their turnover growth rate.
Wow.
So it's not only is it important, it's not only important for the employee side, but it's also important for profit. We're seeing is that deep purpose is profit. It helps productivity. It helps you have a best talent pool. It creates an urgency.
Yep.
It involves people feel more fulfillment, like you were saying.
Yep.
So they're seeing that it's a full circle. So they're paying attention. Even shareholders are paying attention because it's like, oh, wait a minute, there's profit tied to this.
Yes.
So whether people really care or not, now they're paying attention because, well, it's affecting the bottom line, our talent pool, who we're attracting.
I like that. We're talking with Justin Setzer, Plan to Lead. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. You also have Fred Muth in studio coming up. Now, when you think about Keller Williams as a real estate company, they also have a day where they call it Red Day. Like throughout the entire community, there's 180,000 Keller Williams agents across the world. It's called Red Day. And they also have KW Cares, where they, a hurricane hits an area, they pack up a semi truck or multiple trucks and they pipe in, so that's along those same lines. I think people love getting behind a brand or an organization that has those types of community awareness, community impacts in there. Even with our show, we've had a couple of our previous current show partner, Captain Will Smith, and also Juan Quintero, flying trips down to the Bahamas right now. Caringforthebahamas.com is the website. I think that's a big part of what we see. People coming in, caringforthebahamas.com. Yes, you got the supply list there up on our TV show version of the program here. So yeah, I think that's a big part of it. What would be your advice for some of our listeners out there who, they might be struggling a little bit in business? They might be looking for some type of a change. What would you say to those types of people that are, just kind of at a point where they're, hey, I'm kind of maxed out on profits. I'm not sure where I need to go.
Yeah. So for somebody, I think that's looking for change, they don't have a deep sense of purpose. They need to, start with the why. Why am I doing this? And when I teach people how to create a life and business plan, when we look at purpose, it's really a huge driver. I try to ask them a simple formula. My purpose is to, so that.
Right.
So I think about in my life when I was trying to get out of debt because my wife wanted to be a stay-at-home mom.
Yep.
I had a deep purpose. I read it every week. My purpose is to get out of debt so that my wife can come home with our kids.
Yes.
You need something in your life and something in your business that drives you. And here's the reason why is because most people in their life or in business don't have a clear sense of purpose. So if you stand out from everybody else and you have a strong sense of purpose, because they don't have it, they're going to gravitate towards you. They're going to gravitate towards your company because they're deeply looking. Somebody said that most people are living, lives of quiet desperation.
Yes.
They are. Henry Toudell, whoever his name was. Thoreau, sorry.
Yes.
So they're doing that. So people are looking for that. So even you, as you're listening to this today, you may be thinking the same thing. Like, man, I'm looking for something more. There's a longing for more. And ask yourself, why are you here? What can you do? How can you? What is your maximum contribution to this world? What is that?
Right. Yeah, and if you align yourself with that higher purpose, the why behind the scenes of what you're looking to do, and the money will follow, right? That's what you hear. So I think there's something to be said for that. There's also riches in the niches, is what another interesting slogan that you hear in terms of starting a podcast, starting a blog, and diving into a niche that you feel may have some potential upside, and becoming an expert at that. And it may not be something that you can do right away, but over time, if you become better at it and you consistently grow, that's going to snowball. That snowball effect's going to happen. So people that are sometimes, I think, the quiet desperation quote is a great one, because it reminds me of, the highest heart attack rate in the United States happens. We're first of all, we're the unique species or animal that has a particular day of the week that we choose to die on more than the other, and it's Monday mornings. because after the Sunday night football game, you kind of start thinking about it. You're dreading going to work. Some people, they're in that position where they dread going to work. So their heart literally attacks them on Monday morning between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. And the studies show that, and it's proven fact. So I think if you're not happy with your career, your job, find that niche, find that thing that you're passionate about, and devote time to that. And it's also said, what are you doing in between the hours of 7 and 11? I work a 40-hour week. I don't have time. I can't do it. You can. You could work from 7 to 11, sleep from 11 to 6 or 5 o'clock in the morning whenever you wake up. And you can. The difference is you have excuses, right? A lot of people have excuses.
Yes.
So ultimately, yeah. So, hey, great stuff. More from Justin Setzer here, plantolead.com. Fred Muth coming up as well. The 10 man's in studio, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. And we're going to talk about his unique product that they offer here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We also have a feel-good story of the day. A Detroit police officer's act of kindness caught on camera. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter, and the Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook. When we'll see you right after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, also a top real estate agent in the United States, top 1% realtor in the U.S., and we help our sellers maximize the exposure on the sale of their real estate properties. And we've got a hot one here, 8239 26th Avenue North. This is a great opportunity in St. Petersburg. You've got a beautiful property. We just reduced the price of this home down to $399,000. It's actually a short sale now. Not much short sale inventory out there on the markets, but this property is just literally 6 or 8 houses down from the beautiful intercoastal waterways. 8239 26th Avenue North in St. Petersburg. Hot real estate property in Pinellas County. 7519 Pier Road in Port Richey. This is an opportunity for a commercial development. The owner says this would be great for a car lot. It's right off of US 19, large parcel of land and zone C1, and it's close to the future Riverwalk that they're planning for that Port Richey area, New Port Richey area. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com for all of our real estate property listings. PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
And I want to remind you, we're moving over to AM 860 The Answer coming up in on the 26th. Thursday the 26th is going to be our inaugural show at 4 o'clock drive time on AM 860 The Answer. Very popular national syndicated radio show host across that platform. And it's a great opportunity for us. We're real excited about the move over to AM 860 The Answer, 4 o'clock drive time. And we're going to be there. And it's all about helping you understand your buying decisions, bringing on our expert contributors. We've got a host of awesome folks that we bring on the show, CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, all types of home services, of course, mortgage experts, real estate experts here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And this segment is brought to you by the Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort, filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. Check out the Bilmar Beach Resort online, book directly, give Clyde Smith, the general manager, a call, and let him know that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And they also have those weekday rates available now, he said, for Hillsborough and Pinellas County, minus 20% off the normal price. Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, in studio today, we've got Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, Justin Setzer, plan to lead, and now we're going to go to Fred, the AKA the Tin Man, in the house.
Not to be confused with Danny DeVito.
That's right.
Or Richard Dreyfuss. Okay. Now we're going back a few years.
Yeah, that was.
By the way, Justin, I think what you're supplying in the business community is a well-needed service. I understand what it is now, and the bottom line is you really got to be happy with what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Keep the employees, keep the management happy.
Yeah,
that's right. Great concept. Thank you. Well needed. I can't tell you how many businesses that I've dealt with in my time. The owners will say, your help will kill you. And it's a true statement. Mm-hmm. You got to keep them happy.
That's right.
Great. Anyway, forget all that for now. My turn. Okay?
There you go.
So I understand this as of this morning, the interest rates are coming down again.
Yeah.
Interest rates come down, more houses sell. You'll be more busy than normal.
Yep.
And more screen enclosures, more patios, more pool enclosures.
That's right.
It's amazing. I recall the years way back, I can't think what year it was, moved here from the Northeast, and my neighbor down the street from D.C. says, come on down, I want to show you something. Okay, what? I walk down and he says, look, it's a porch without windows. Oh yeah, it's got screens. It's a screen room. Nice. So a couple years later, I'm in the business.
Nice.
And it just takes off. I constantly talk to people from all over the country. They're moving in. Obviously, we can see that based on the traffic.
Yep.
And they have no clue what a lanai is. They just want one. They want this open air area, this in between space, as you coined that phrase.
Yeah.
So the concept is, it just took off. When I got in this business in 1992, and it has escalated from that point on, just continues to move. I don't really have to get on the show to talk up Tampa Screens and Aluminum, because if you look at their reviews, they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it was really my choice to go to work with them, as opposed to some other companies. I worked with another company for many years, and then when the guys that owned that company decided to close down, I went right with Tampa Screens, based on, their history, how long they've been in business. Very good company.
You had Richard and his son. They do a great job.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep them jumping, and I'm glad I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they're not listening.
That's right. So Fred Muth, longtime friend of the program. Gosh, 5 years now we've been doing the show together.
I was thinking, was it 16 or 15? I think
God,
15.
I don't know.
I think I joined the show in 15.
Well, I remember we used to record over at the other place on Gandy.
Right.
And then we would go over to Hula Bay.
Yeah.
And have some lunch over there. So that was a long time.
At iHeart, it was sort of incredible. I was in there early one day, and they had Todd Schnitt on a podcast.
Yeah.
And we were all hooked in with Todd.
Yeah.
And we were talking to Todd, and he's in New York doing the show.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We'd have a lot of fun. And when you look at, the economy, we were talking about it too. I went over some stats on yesterday's show talking about Pinellas County having the least amount of active inventory that we've had in the past 6 years. We're down to 4,883 active listings according, to when this paper was printed a couple days ago. But yeah, so we're at a low inventory level. We are talking about, you're hearing things in the overall economic conditions about a potential market shift. And we're seeing that happen. I was on the phone with one of the VPs from Keller Williams Realty International, and I asked him that question. I said, we keep hearing about these shifts coming, but we're not seeing it here in Tampa Bay. He said, Brandon, yeah, we see it mostly along both coasts. You have it up the east coast of the eastern seaboard and the west coast as well, and it kind of moves from the center of the country from there.
Yeah, now Pinellas County, obviously you can't start to rebuild or build and this and that and the other because it's pretty much tied up. Tear down and start over, you see a lot of that. Mm-hmm. However, on the Hillsborough side, it continues to move east.
That's right.
And southeast.
That's right.
And what is farmland this year will be subdivisions next year.
That's right.
And that's fine. Keep it coming.
Yeah, and it gets interesting too. You start thinking about the impacts on the food supply. At some point, you got farmland being taken up. You got solar. The power companies buying up land, putting in solar fields. It's like at some point we got to have some arable land to continue to feed.
Right. But you're from down south.
Yep.
You're what's the town you're from?
A small town called LaBelle, Hendry County.
Okay. Drive from here to LaBelle.
Yeah.
And it's just clear. There's very little.
Lots of farmland.
As far as commerce goes, real estate. There's still a lot of land to be developed.
Yeah.
Not that I want the entire state to be developed.
Lots of cows.
It's available.
Yeah. There is, and it's an interesting time to be in real estate. It's an interesting time to be in your business, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Let's talk about your latest product too, because you just recently rolled out this new product. I think Rob had just put it up on the TV side here. Pretty cool. Some of the different developments that you have now within your industry with the new product that you have.
Well, the Renaissance line, we became a dealer for Renaissance, and that product is it's a porte-cochere style enclosure.
Yep.
It can be with or without a hard roof, screen in, screen out, no screen. It can be glass windows. It's pretty much it's custom built, but this is the design. It's more wide open. There's the heavier extrusions. It's all powder coated metal, which makes a difference. It's pricey though. I'll be honest with you. It's compared to the standard enclosure, it may be double, somewhere in that price tag range. However, if that's the look that somebody wants, we're going to sell it. I've not sold one yet. I've only pitched a few. Ricky's responsible for the first one with our company, and it's a big one. And it's beautiful.
That's very cool.
And of course, we get a lot of referrals from that as well. But the other concept in the industry that has changed over the past several years is the panoramic view on the pool cages.
Yeah.
Now, I sold quite a few of them. I like that pano view based on what the rear of the house, what the backdrop is. When I sell the pano view on a backdrop like this, to me that makes a lot more sense than having a lot of chair rails and uprights in between.
Yeah,
I walked into one the other day. It was very similar. The deck was up and down, and the customer says to me, "What do you think you can do with this?" And I could already see, exactly how we're going to lay it out. We laid it out. It's 51 feet across, two 16s and a 19. They said, "Where'd you come up with that?" I says, "I don't know. It's just going to look good, based on the deck." So we sold the job like that.
Nice.
And, of course, my job is to get that concept from my mind into their mind.
Yeah.
But, with all the years of experience, you walk in and you see it. You can basically see the finished product.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. It's just showing that picture. It looks like a work of art.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does.
Yeah.
That's Florida living defined by a picture right there.
Right. So it starts with the sales guy and design guy, and we just put it together, and then we send it in Now the work begins. They have to put it on a CAD drawing, have a structural engineer sign and seal it, and then of course it goes out the door. Now the installers have to put it together that way.
Yeah.
So my job's pretty easy compared to the rest of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you said from time to time you get people saying, "Yeah, I heard about you on the radio. I heard you on the Consumer Quarterback Show."
That's what this show does for me.
Yeah.
I will walk in, and they're ready to sign up, and they'll say, "Oh, by the way, we heard you on the radio."
Nice.
So it helps me close a deal.
Sure. Yeah, I love it, man.
Very,
That's awesome.
very much so.
Good
Yeah.
stuff. And Chris Hatfield's been on the show too.
Yeah, how's he doing? Haven't seen him.
Doing well.
Did he
Seems to be doing well.
I understand he got engaged or something. He was going to get married.
Yeah, he was on the show, I think, with James last time.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, see, Chris and I are always. I mean, we run different directions.
Yeah.
And I mean, if we both ran the same direction, something would be wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
he takes over areas that I don't take over, and
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
That's
so
awesome.
he's a piece of work. You know, if you have 5 minutes to talk to Chris, give it 30.
Yeah. And
he's got a lot to say. You know?
He does the golf volleyball, or not volleyball, golf. What is it? Frisbee golf.
He does the frisbee golf, yeah.
Golf volleyball.
Which I'm not real familiar with that. But
Yeah.
that's
Disc
okay.
golf.
Yeah, disc golf. Pretty cool. All right. So, hey, more from our expert contributors here in studio. When we come back, we're going to jump into our lightning round. We're going to give some top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom from Justin Setzer, Fred Muth in studio here in our feel good story of the day. Find out about this police officer, random act of kindness caught on camera right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com. We'll be right back.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. Ian Beckles.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by True Leaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, here we go. And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in any marketplace. That's our number one goal, is being your consumer advocate. We want you to think about this show as the hub of your financial, your business, your health wheel. Each spoke extending out, representing another one of our preferred partners, our expert contributors that we bring on the show. We vet. They take time out of their busy schedules to come in and be a consumer advocate here on the air every day. Listening audience, we want to help you win in any marketplace. 4309 East Frierson Avenue. This is a property, vacant land property that we have available in Tampa. And the owner tells me that it's been rezoned to multifamily, can fit 8, maybe even 10 units on this 0.32 acre parcel of land, depending on approval from the county. 4309 East Frierson Avenue in Tampa. And we got a property on Boy Scout Road in Tarpon Springs. This is a great opportunity. Burrell Road, Boy Scout Road, Tarpon Springs Road. We've got a $2.498 million parcel of land, 10 acres, 18117 Boy Scout Road in Odessa. Prime waterfront, 2 custom estate site home sites available for single-family homes. 1 single-family home per 5-acre parcel of land. And this property is a great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Check out all of our property listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, we're going to call that audible here for you. And every day we're going to tell you something positive here on the Consumer Quarterback Show in our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, we got a police officer's act of kindness in Detroit was caught on camera. Jim Schaefer snapped a photo of Officer Jeremy Thomas helping a homeless man shave and then posted it to her Facebook page. Quote, "What a great Detroit cop. This is right outside Commercia Park. The game was a rain out, but the officer went above and beyond to help this man shave." Thomas, who has been with the Detroit Police Department for 3 years, told the radio station he was just wanting to do something he likes to do is something good. Thomas explained that the man had helped, was given a razor along with a shaving cream and a bottle of water by a woman and her daughter. As Thomas approached the man, he was using a puddle to rinse off the disposable razor. "Excuse me, sir," Thomas said to Nelson. Nelson replied, I'll leave. Thomas told him he was simply wanted to help, and his act of kindness, unknown to him at the time, was caught on camera. "Nobody is better than the other person," Thomas said. "They may be in a better position in life, but use that opportunity to take care of somebody else when you can." So, feel good story of the day. Officer helping out the gentleman with his shave. I love those stories, man. Wow. Love those feel good stories. And it's always involving Facebook nowadays, or GoFundMe or something. There's some ways, and that's a good point to kind of bring to the show here. Is a lot of times I like to talk to renters, for example. Renters right now, they're paying about 30 to 40% more than they could actually buy for, and many of them don't know it. They think they have to have 20% down. They don't understand. It's one of those things, you don't know what you don't know. But for example, renters, hey, how about setting up? Let's say you're about to get married, and instead of getting the plates and the diapers and the customary ordinary candle sets and all those things, sign up for GoFundMe and say, hey, put money into this GoFundMe account. We want to get out of renting, throwing money away, paying our landlord's mortgage. We want to get into home ownership, and then all of your wedding party, your family, whenever they make those donations, now all of a sudden you got 2, 3, 4, 5, however many thousands of dollars there, depending on how your family, how much your family hooks you up, right? But now you got down payment money. You got money for down payment, and a veteran, you don't need the down payment. You got 100% financing available. If you work with a real estate company like us, we're going to help you negotiate seller concessions into your offer. Seller concessions are great because if you utilize seller concessions properly, you're able to pay, for example, easy numbers. Let's use a $100,000 offer on a property. Or asking price. Let's say you offer 103 instead of 100,000. You ask for 3% seller concessions back to your closing costs. That's $3,000 of money that you did not need to come to the table with. That's right. And chances are the seller's going to be happy to take that because it represents a full price offer based on his $100,000 asking price. So those are ways that we can help you live a better life. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com and reach out to the show. We want to connect with you. Text REQB to 313131. There's a way that you can connect with us via text. Just simply text REQB, like real estate quarterback, to 313131 and connect with us there. And all right, let's jump into our lightning round here.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
All right. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Justin Setzer, give us some nuggets.
Yeah, I think about when you think about your purpose or business purpose, and it could be goals as well. Think about what you're doing currently in your actions, your habits. They're either giving you traction or distraction.
That's right.
When you look at it, so decide what things in my life currently are distractions or giving me distraction from the goal, the purpose, the desires that I'm trying to accomplish. And the other side is what goals, what activities are giving me traction. So you need to cut the slack, get rid of the distractions. You need to focus on the tractions, get moving forward. And you're going to see yourself get incredible gains in the next season.
I love that. Yeah. And what's influencing you? You know, what are you listening to? Are you listening to friends that are negative? Are you listening to positive friends? Are you listening to positive podcasts? You know, ways that you can, tap into knowledge that someone else has, YouTube videos. It's all available to you. Like we were talking about earlier, what are you doing from 7 to 11 that's really building your career? If you're not in a position where you're happy where you're at now, if you're 7 to 11, that's your online internet marketing time. That's your time to learn and train and read and grow. And that's a great point, Justin. I love that. Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum.
That's a tough act to follow right there.
Yeah. Traction, distraction.
I like that.
Nice.
Traction.
Catchy.
Let's talk about some traction.
Yeah.
So, I always close out with try to educate the consumer on bidding out any type of work, no matter what it is, whether it's a pool enclosure, screen enclosure, roof, house, whatever it is. And you would know from your business, your other business, rehabbing, etc. Mm-hmm. Ask a lot of questions. Make sure that whoever's trying to sell you the work, the job, whatever it is, make sure they can answer the questions, and make sure they're not reluctant to even try to answer the questions. We welcome the questions at Tampa Screens. In my sales presentation, I feel very, very much above and beyond when the consumer comes to me with a list of questions, because this way I know on the back end the surprises are all eliminated.
Right.
In construction, you have to be careful of the surprises. Nothing worse than a surprise on the back end.
Yeah.
So please ask a lot of questions.
Yep, that's what you hear about a lot when it comes to construction and building a home. You hear about those. So you got to really have a plan in place, and then have a contingency plan in place.
That's right.
A backup plan to the backup plan.
That's right. I think you would know.
That's right. Ask questions. There you go. Absolutely. And I teach negotiation now. One of my favorite topics to teach is branding and as well as negotiation. I teach at the Realtor boards. I teach my team and coach. But when you think about negotiation, I want to talk to you about the power of calibrated questions. According to Chris Voss, he wrote the book Never Split the Difference. Former FBI lead international hostage negotiator, former guest on this show. He talks about calibrated questions, open-ended questions. When you utilize, and you want to be a wordsmith, right? You want to be a wordsmith when you're negotiating. What happens is when you create, you create the illusion of control. Whenever you're asking an open-ended question, you want to summarize calmly whatever the other person, the counterpart, is saying, and then repeat some form of an open-ended question. How am I supposed to do that? Is one of the favorite that he uses in that book. You want to use softening words like perhaps and maybe. Those are going to be softer words rather than calling the other person out. And the beauty of open-ended questions is that it allows you to introduce ideas without sounding pushy or rigid, right? It's also offering you an opportunity to introduce an idea without providing a target for attack like a statement will. If you make a blank statement, then there's a target for attack. Calibrated questions have the ability to educate your counterpart and on what the problem is, rather than creating conflict by telling them what the problem is. And so by asking for help, you're not bullying, you're giving the illusion of control, and it transforms a confirmational showdown into a mutual working agreement. So you're able to work towards that agreement. So remember how to utilize open-ended questions, mirrors, labels in your negotiations with your day-to-day business and life. And
I think I need to work on that because past couple of weeks, I come off kind of harsh on some of the jobs, only because I was insistent on doing it the right way.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of resistance back from the homeowner.
Yeah.
That's when I stopped.
Yeah.
I said, I'm doing something wrong here.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
That's right. Yeah. It seems like, it feels like, it looks like, kind of throw it out there as an idea and then let them come to that conclusion themselves, right?
Yeah. People always bought into their own ideas.
Exactly.
That's why in coaching, we just questions. We don't tell them what to do.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Coaching, it's part of the game, and it's part of the and it also starts with the mindset, right? Instead of saying, oh, this other person is my adversary, especially in a real estate transaction. I'm most of the time the listing agent. I've got about 30 listings. We have a buyer agent that submits an offer, and you're talking about, that's my counterpart. It's not an adversary. It's not necessarily an antagonistic relationship. It's, hey, we're working together to get through the inspections, through the appraisals, through the second round of negotiations or whatever, comes about when you have these different steps through a process of getting a deal done. So, hey, another great show today. Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, Justin Setzer, Plan to Lead. And thanks to all of our listeners, our viewers out there, our team behind the scenes putting this show together. We really appreciate everyone. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing, carry it with you to and from your commute, hand it to that person that you see in need. Pack up some food, donate some blood. Lots of ways that you can be a force for good in the community. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you. Tell us your story and comments on the show at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, the Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook, and hit us up on LinkedIn. We'd love to connect on LinkedIn. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Big.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 102.5 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.